it's a common law principle of fairness between creditors that requires a single bankruptcy process of universal application, from which modified universalism derives. And that principle was first laid out by the brilliant Lord Hoffman in a case called Cambridge Gas in about 2007. More recently, the principle has been applied in Singularis and also in SARD in the Privy Council on appeal from Bermuda. This principle of modified universalism is all important when you restructure Cayman or Bermuda companies listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange because of the absence of the UNCITRAL model law. And people often think that the UNCITRAL model law is a treaty. It's not. It is simply a template that countries who are signatories have adopted either holistically or with some modification. Now, the point about the type of cross-border work that we at Harneys do across Asia and offshore is that in all of these jurisdictions there is no application of the UNCITRAL model law. Bermuda, BVI, Cayman, Hong Kong, the PRC, none of these places have adopted the UNCITRAL model law, and therefore one must look at the common law, one must look at the principle of modified universalism in Cambridge Gas. Broadly speaking, that means that you have a principal liquidation in which courts conducting the main liquidation will expect foreign courts to support it in what Lord Hoffman described as ancillary liquidations. And the courts that have the ancillary liquidations taking place in them are expected to recognise and support the courts that have the principal liquidation. To put some flesh on that, what I mean by that is, for a Cayman company, for example, you would have the Grand Court of the Cayman Islands as the place where the principal liquidation was taking place, and then very likely in a situation where such a company was listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, you would have the Hong Kong High Court as the ancillary liquidation. Now, that doesn't mean actually that any less work is done in Hong Kong or in the Hong Kong courts, because you could very well have a very involved scheme or schemes of arrangement in the Hong Kong courts, but it's just an understanding of how the liquidation process works.